Jonathan Huberdeau hasn't quite lived up to expectations during his tenure as a Calgary Flame, and that has caused a lot of people to bring his name up in trade rumors and talk about how his contract is one of the, if not the worst in the entire NHL. And while he has a lot of the fan base behind him, we believe in him, we love him, he was recently out at a golf tournament and he revealed the truth about his situation and just the ongoing situation with the Calgary Flames and their rebuild. We are going to dive into all of that, but first, I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I am Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family, and perfect, I struggled through that intro. We're here now. Let's talk some Johnny Huberdeau and talk about how Huby speaks out. Whether you want to say Huberdeau has spoken out or he has revealed the truth about the trade talks, the trade rumors, his situation with the Flames, either way, it is great that we have some legitimate content here, and Jonathan Huberdeau has actually spoken out. So he was recently at a golf tournament and was interviewed regarding many subjects, mostly, of course, involving himself, kind of his play, his disappointing play, his contract, the trade rumors, and to start off, what I will first show you is actually how he felt about the Florida Panthers winning the Stanley Cup. His former team, the team he was there for so long, helped build that team into a successful team and then was ditched, and then they became so much better. And let's just dive right in. Why don't we? This is a quote from Huby. He said, "It's hard to see the guys lift the cup," Huberdeau told La Presse's Guillaume Lefrançois. It was obviously a French golf tournament at his annual golf tournament on Monday. "You say to yourself, I was there for 10 years during more difficult times. But that's how you build a team. When you're young, you don't care. You just want to build your career. Now I'm back in that situation, but a little older." It sounds like he's a little bit unhappy here. You know, he's kind of thinking, I've already been through the struggle. You're supposed to trust the process. He's been through the process in Florida, and then they became successful once he was no longer there. You know, you think of like a DeMar DeRozan with the Toronto Raptors. If you're a basketball fan, he was there for so long with the Raps, gets traded away for Kawhi Leonard, and they win the championship. It's a similar situation here with Huberdeau going over west while Chucky gets to go down to the southeast and win the cup, of course. But let's continue. Still, Huberdeau says he appreciates the accomplishment of his former teammates. "I'm happy for the guys. They worked hard," Huberdeau said. "Barkov, I've been with him for years. He works so hard." Aaron Ekblad, Sam Bennett too. Yes, the Florida Panthers, they honestly did deserve the cup this year. They went on that magical run last season as well and fell short against Vegas. This year they do get it done, and thankfully they did beat the Edmonton Oilers. And Huberdeau probably was pretty salty about it, more salty than he's letting on. I'm sure Weegar was as well. But either way, he's happy for his old teammates, who I'm sure he is still friends with at some point. Just to continue on this, Tkachuk arrived, and yes, he is good, Huberdeau said, but he is well surrounded. Whoa, is he trying to discredit how good Chucky is? I think Huby's saying he's better than Chucky, but Chucky has the team built around him. They have talent. You see it. Bill Zito was good at getting guys like defenseman Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Dmitry Kulikov, who were doing less well elsewhere, and a good coach like Paul Maurice, it seems. I thought they were going to win. I sense a little bit, once again, a little bit of salt in there, but either way, I think he is mostly happy, and he understands why they won the cup. I just don't think he's going to outright say, look, they might have won the cup because I'm no longer there. Is that the truth? No, of course I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the roster that they did build since he got traded has been to 2 Stanley Cups. It's interesting. But he did have more to talk about, and it more so involved the Calgary Flames instead of just kind of being salty and us just alluding to the fact that he's probably more unhappy in Calgary than he would have been in Florida winning the cup. But here's what he had to say. So he said, first we'll just read it up a bit and then we'll do the quotes. But entering into the second season of an 8-year, $84 million deal, Huberdeau says he understands what's expected of him even. After a 112-point season during his final year with the Panthers, I remember it being 115, but either way, Huberdeau has notched 55 and 52 points respectively in his first 2 seasons in Alberta, and he says he has to play better. Yes, 55 plus 52 is less than what he had in his last season in Florida, which is quite disappointing. We want him to be, a 100-point player kind of thing, and for him to only be just over 100 points over 2 years isn't great for how much he is getting paid, over 10 mil a season, of course. But here's what he had to say. it's certain that I'm hard to trade. This is him revealing the truth about the trade rumors. He knows they exist, and he knows how difficult it would be to trade even him. Because him even talking about it kind of makes it seem like he wouldn't mind being traded away, and I think we all understand that. But he said, it's certain that I'm hard to trade, Huberdeau said of his deal. Of course, the contract isn't great. He also knows that, but we'll get into that in just a second. I knew it when I signed the contract, but I didn't know how it was going to happen. I thought I was going to produce points, that it would be good, but the more defensive systems play didn't help. Huberdeau is an avid hater of Daryl the Barrel Sutter, and it makes sense. They did not gel well, and of course the Flames were locked up to Huberdeau more than Sutter. But either way, the contract, I know I'm worth that. Huberdeau says he is worth this contract, and he truly played like he was. He played to this contract. He had some amazing seasons in Florida. He had a great career, really, and we're still hopeful that he can get back to that point. I think with a better system around him, some better players, we could do that. I think that's really what he's alluding to here, is that it can work here as well. But several factors didn't help me, is what he said, and it's up to me to get through it. So he's taking some accountability. He knows he can play up to that contract. That just means if we're averaging, let's say, 100 points per season we expected out of this contract, that means he has to hit, 200 points next season? I think it can be done, especially if he's got Zane Parekh dishing it to him from the blue line. Oh my goodness, it's going to be fun. But either way, let's just finish up what Huby says here. We can get into the playoffs. That's how he feels about the Flames, even if everyone sees us as the underdogs. But it's never fun to be in a rebuilding mode. When you are young, you can learn, gain maturity, you have time. But at 31, you want to win, and you want to win now. It's harder to swallow, but you have to accept your role 100%. He's not happy, doing a rebuild. I don't think he really wants to rebuild. He is 31 now, definitely wants to win a cup, but he does accept the role. He understands that you do need to go and trust the process in order to be prosperous. And he did that in Florida, wasn't able to achieve the big thing, but I think he's hopeful it can happen here in Calgary. Either way, it was nice to hear from Huby over this summer. I gotta say, in the history of this channel, there haven't been all that many Huberdeau videos, so I'm glad we could focus one on him here. Now, the other thing we'll talk about in this video is just something that I kind of missed over the weekend since I was quite busy, and that was about the ELCs that were signed that had Flames fans very, very excited. There were 3 entry-level contracts that were dished out to 2. There were 2 of them were draft picks from this past season, the first rounders, and then 1 from a previous year. But the first one that we have to bring up, well, I'll just bring them up all up at once. There they are. They're looking so good. Some very good looking men. And of course, the cheekiest one of them all is Craig there in the middle. But either way, as you can see here, left to right, we have Etienne Morin getting his ELC finally. Zane Parekh, of course, the 9th overall pick. And Matt Vagradine, also a first rounder from this past year's draft, got his ELC, which is great. We have them for a little bit, and they seem excited to be here. Zane Parekh, I followed him on Instagram already. He is having a great time in this city. He's been lighting it up at the development camp. He was at the Badlands tent for Stampede, I saw, and my goodness, he just seems awesome. The other guys, congratulations to them. I'm so glad Morin finally signed, but I wanted to get some viewpoints from the Sea of Red as well, so I took some comments from Instagram, and people were excited. So first one there from Flames Prospects said, morale is high, and then the New York Albertan said, Morin has been flying under the radar. He'll be top 4 in the NHL someday soon. Not just a top 4 D-man for the Flames, but a top 4 defenseman in the whole CHL. Oh, baby. I sure hope that is the case. Him and Zane both. And then some more here. Julian said, we back, baby. And Xander said a Conroy masterclass. Great to have these guys signed. It's good that we're actually investing in the youth here. And I'm sure these 3 will actually get a chance to play in the NHL. Maybe this season, if not, definitely within the next couple of years, if they decide to do that and we decide to do that as well. I know how we feel about bringing in younger guys when we have such a losing culture, but either way, it is exciting, exciting times. Now let's wrap up this video with the comment of the day, as we love to do, everyone's favorite part of the day, and this one has to do with yesterday's video about the Nazem Kadri rumors, I suppose we can call them, which were kind of blasphemous to begin with. But either way, I like this one from our classic regular here on the channel, Mr. Chad Colson, and he said, if Kadri goes, I'm going to miss the 3 offside on-man rushes every game. Every game, how about every shift? He just seems to have a knack for it. Yes, we can, poke some fun at Kadri. He does go offside a lot, but he provides so much to this team, and we are happy to have him. That being said, for an older guy with that contract, if you can trade it away, it would be pretty cool if we got something good back. But either way, the vibes are good with Kadri. He wants to be here, and that was a funny comment. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe, like what you saw here today, and have a wonderful rest of your day.